Hi guys, it's me, Susan. I think it's day 96. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If Monday was 92, it's Friday. TGIF. Um, Forgot I had my sign. TGIF. Okay. Um, I, uh, I wanted to let you know about the post on Monday that the reason that happened that way, I was not in a great mood. I was feeling like I didn't have anything to say, and yet I was also feeling pressure that I hadn't posted anything since Thursday, and but I didn't want it to be something I had to do, so I was really kind of struggling. And finally, it occurred to me that I had made the promise, or at least alluded to the fact that I was going to put on a blonde wig and do a rap song about Jolie, and I hadn't said anything about that for some time. And I just thought, that'd be the perfect thing. It'd be something to do, something to make a video of, something that might really kick me into a better mood, and maybe give a few laughs to my viewers. So that's where that came from, and I did have a good time, except making it. Except the beat from my keyboard in the background wasn't loud enough. But I haven't yet gotten around to like redoing the whole thing. The moment has passed, and I didn't want to do it all over again. Okay, but here I am. I'm real happy because I had some big projects sort of weighing on me, and I got them all complete today in time to take off for the weekend and really maybe relax and enjoy myself, not worry too much about stuff. So I'm going to be happy about that. I'll be spending some time with Tigit this weekend, and we'll see how that goes. Which reminds me that February, as I told you, I was going to shift my focus a little bit more to relationship issues and things that I've learned from my many years of struggling in various relationships, including a 25-year marriage, and all the I didn't get married until late in life, relatively late, I would say. I was almost 37 years old when I got married for the first time, and only time. But I've learned a lot about relationships, plus I get to sit ringside and listen to a lot of other people talk about their relationships. So I feel like I have some useful things to say. Still going to touch on the motivational behavior change issues because I continue to feel they're important. I am doing my upper body workouts, and I want to reiterate to you that work on your arms if you're going to start doing any weights or strength training, because the arms respond so quickly. It has only been like 4 weeks, and I can really see definition in my arms. It's very cool. It's a motivating factor. But back to relationships. February obviously is a month that contains Valentine's Day, which is to me, a very complicated and kind of screwed up day. I have very mixed emotions about it. I think it's something that was invented primarily to benefit the floral, candy, and greeting card industries. I also get to see, we always laugh, people that I work with, we're always laughing that your shrink's office, that's the place you should be on Valentine's Day if you're struggling either in a relationship or wishing that you had one to be struggling in. But also February is the month that my husband Mike passed away on the 24th. So as the month goes on, I'll be talking some more about some things I learned from my marriage and from him. And I always think about him, and well, I always think about him anyway, but I think about him fondly when I think about his passing. So we'll be talking about that too. I really primarily wanted to share a couple of little stories with you today. Today's focus is on people who are, if you are in a relationship. There's a separate set of things that happen for people who are single and maybe wanting or not so sure they want to be in a relationship. How do you get one? What do you do when you start one? Things like that we'll be talking about. Today this is more a way of looking at the relationship you're in, which from my experience, when you're in it, it's much simpler to notice all the things that are wrong with it, and even to fantasize sometimes that you would be happier if you were single, or happier if they would just sort of like leave town or something frequently. Of course, you talk to people whose whose partners do leave town frequently, and they're not so happy about that either. So, um, of course, it's always complicated. But the two things I want to tell you about, one is a little exercise that I heard about somewhere, where there was it was women that did this, because women are often, women are more likely to sit around and talk about what they don't like about men. Men are they're just doing their things. I mean, they all know there are lots of things they don't like about women. I don't think they talk about them as much as women do. But anyway, this exercise was for this group of women. There were about 20 women, and they were instructed to write down on pieces of paper, all the little pieces of paper, everything they could think of that they disliked or wanted to change about their husbands. And they were all furiously scribbling away, and everybody had a whole bunch of things that were wrong with their husbands. And they put them in these little paper bags. All the bags were identical, and they went and put them over on a table. And then the instruction was, okay, well, actually, you could mark your own bag. You could mark your own bag somehow with a little code that you knew that was yours. Okay? So the instruction was, okay, go over there. You really have a lot of frustration and things you don't like about your husband. Sometimes you just wish he would just like disappear or something. Go over there and pick a bag, and that's the bag that you get for your partner. And everybody is kind of perplexed, and there's some hemming and hawing, and every single one of them goes and picks their own bag, because something you know about is better than something you don't know about. It made them think, okay, I think all these things are wrong with him, and I always think about how much better it could be, but I don't usually think about how much worse it could be. And having to think about, maybe I'm going to actually pick this bag, and I've got to take all this stuff that has been written down that's wrong with this guy, and I don't even know him. I don't want to take that chance. Now, that may seem like a kind of a negative way to get yourself to appreciate what you've got, but I think it is too easy when we're in a relationship to just, first of all, to focus on the things we don't like. I don't know why that is. But also to make the other person responsible for our unhappiness. I would be so much happier if only you would pick up your socks, or not get so angry, or, tell me nice things, or something like that. It's real easy to say, here's what you need to do to make me feel better. It's a lot harder to say, what do I need to do to help myself feel better, which might include improving the way I communicate with my partner. Okay, more on that as we go along in the month. The other thought I wanted to share is an article I was reading called "Are You Married to the Wrong Person?" And basically the upshot of it was, no, not unless, probably not unless they are a drug addict, an active substance abuser with an addiction, because those are almost impossible to really overcome. You certainly can't overcome them, but get someone else to overcome them. But anyway, it was kind of like they were interviewing a lot of people who had been happily married for a long time, and they asked this one guy, what is your secret? What is the secret to how you stay happy in your marriage? And he said, I'll tell you what it is. Every single day, I get up in the morning, I walk into the bathroom, and I look in the mirror, and I say to myself, you're no prize either. And it just blew my mind, because it's like, of course, I say, all the things that are wrong with him, all the things that are wrong with the other person, but as if there's no things wrong with me. Like, how could you not just be totally thrilled to be with me? And why don't you change all these things that are wrong with you? So again, the recognition that, why do I put up with you? Well, partly because you put up with me, that it's a system, and we're really, if we wanted to, we could really support each other in our weaknesses, or encourage each other in the ways that we want to change, rather than kind of going on opposite sides of the ring and pointing fingers and saying everything would be better if you would just be different. So I find both those ideas kind of humbling and kind of, it's like, wake up and realize that things are a lot more complicated than we want to see them, or actually they're more simple. I would say they're not more complicated. It's just, if you're willing to look at um, the life that you have as a system that you're a part of and that you're influencing all the time, and you're not a victim, and you can change lots of things about yourself. So why are you focusing on stuff that somebody else should change and won't change, and explains everything that's wrong with your life? Okay, so that's my thought for the day, and I hope you all have a great weekend. I'll be checking back in with you probably the end of the weekend, maybe Sunday or Monday. And in the meantime, I hope you all live well, laugh often, and love much. And I'll see you soon on the Cancer Club. Bye.